Hey everybody, how's it going? Didn't think I forgot about these guys, did you? They're here. This is part 6, I think, 5, 40,000 of Let's Make a Model, Let's Make Some Models, the Pathfinder series. It's part 5. I just checked. Anyway. And we're done with them as far as this stage. Now we're going to move on to the next stage. I'm going to do a little recap for those who may have forgotten or just watching this video. And what we did to get to this stage from the last stage was touch up the model, assemble it, glue it to its base, varnish it, and flock it, which sounds like a lot, but it really wasn't. Basically, what I did is, we'll use this guy as an example. He didn't have any assembly required because he's one piece, but I touched up the gun, so make sure it's black where it's supposed to be. Cleaned up the model, so I made everything nice and clean as I could. Flocked his base, glued into a base, and flocked him. The other guys I assembled, same thing but with assembly. And assembling a Pathfinder was easy. You put the arm onto it because they're pewter. The whole reason I varnished it, you can do varnishing at any step really, and then you can always re-varnish if you want to do another coat later. The reason why I varnished these guys though is because they're pewter, and as I discussed in this series, pewter for some reason hates paint, at least whenever I do it. Now I know you can like wash it up better, let it dry, put a couple thin coats of primer on it, but to get the whole thing down and done, in general, pewter doesn't hold paint as well as plastic. Pretty much it never does. So when I was working on these guys, I had to constantly touch up parts of them because the paint would chip off, because that's just what happens. So as a protective layer to keep the paint from chipping, you varnish them. Now people will do some type of matte coat, or I use matte varnish. Most people use matte. Some people use gloss for certain things, like goo effects or skin, but like a lizardy skin or something. But for the most part, you'll see everybody matte varnish the model so it doesn't glow and like be so glossy. It's a protective layer. Most people do it to all their models. I don't do it to my plastic models, except for what I'll do is I'll do it over any decals, just to protect the decals doesn't flake off. But other than that, I don't do it to plastic. I cheat and I don't do it. I'm not saying you shouldn't, I'm just saying I don't. But so anyways, that's why they're varnished. And I varnished them after I flocked them because I forgot to do it beforehand. So it doesn't matter what you do. But the point is, that's where we're at. As you can see, the model itself for the Pathfinder is done. He's finished. But I wouldn't play them on an undone base. The base, remember, if it's just black, like just a basic base you glued into, with some paint on it, let's say, because you painted them when it's on the base, it's not going to look good. The model will look done, but the model won't feel complete. The actual guy won't feel complete because his base isn't done. There's something missing, which is the base. You don't do anything crazy, because I mentioned this in another video, and I'll mention it here. The crazier and more in-depth and elaborate and awesome your base is, I feel you need an equally awesome model to put on it, because your eye is going to be not naturally, but you're going to be drawn to the thing that's the best. And if the base is the best, you're going to look at that first and go, wow, and then you see the model and go, oh, okay. So if you have like a decent model or a mediocre model and you put it on this amazing base, like if you're painted a tabletop quality model and you put it on a like golden demon display super base of awesomeness, the model's going to get lost in the base. You don't want the base to be too crazy, too hectic, too eye-catching, because it's not meant to be the main focus. It's meant to tie them all together, complete the model. So you can have this amazing model, this like golden demon level model, and you can, if it's on a generic base, like a very minimalistic base, it'll look complete and look fine. Now you may want to put on a better base because it deserves it, but it'll look fine. So anyway, we flocked it here. Now, as you see with my far side model, if you've seen that video when I put it up there, or if I did the other Tau videos, I don't remember. Anyway, the point is, if you've seen any of my other Tau, you know I'm doing Farside Enclave or Shova Sept, which is the same thing. Just you can call it Farside Enclave or Shova Sept. They're on a snowy base. I just picked that because I thought it looked cool. And for the other guys, what I did pretty much is I made the entire base snow. I wanted to represent a very snowy area. Now, snow bases can be done differently. You can put it on full snow. You can have very little bit of dusting of snow on stuff. So what I'm going to do with the Pathfinders to represent the fact that they've been entrenched somewhere, or in forward positions, or just entrenched somewhere on the battlefield. I'm going to have it with a little bit of snow on like a rocky base, which is why it's flock. Here it's in flock. Normally, I get the base sides painted and everything ready for the snow base, and then I put the snow flock on top of it and I'm done. But while it does look good, you can make snow look better, and it all depends what you want to do. There's a bunch of ways to do snow effect. I'm using snow flock, using baking soda, using a mixture of stuff. But I'm gonna still use snow flock, but I'm gonna do it on a rocky base, like a gravelly base, I should say. So that's why it's flocked green here. Now I just use PVA glue. Some people use super glue. I suggest PVA glue because PVA glue is a white glue, and the reason why I suggest it is it's cheaper. And it's a little bit more friendly, so if you get it on the model, you can wipe it with your finger and not get your finger stuck to the model. It does take a little bit longer to dry, so you have to let it fully dry before you base the model. If you don't let them, before you paint the base. If you don't let it fully dry, the flock can come up in clumps and get stuck to your brush, and potentially ruin your brush and ruin the base. So let it fully dry. Then I'm going to paint it. I'm going to do it in layers of gray to make it look kind of rocky, and then I'm going to put snow on top of it. So when you see this, and then I'm going to paint the rim blue, because that's what I do for my towel. But basically, the next time you see these guys, they'll be completely done. So that's what you're going to see. To get back to the glue, though, when you use PVA glue, you can do two things. You can water it down, so it's a little bit more watery in texture, or you can just paint it on thinly to the base. I just paint it on thinly because I'm lazy and I don't have time to be watering down my stuff. But either way works, as you can see. So what I'm going to do, as I said already, is get the base fully done, and then the models are ready for the battlefield. Again, it's going to be a series of gray, and then the rim is last. I do the rim last because if I get any paint on the rim, it's covered up by the rim color. Now I do blue for my towel. Mostly I do graveyard earth for everything else. I just wanted my towel to be different, so I did blue on the towel. I thought it went better with the snow look, which is why I did it that way. Now, if we're going to base the entire thing with snow flock, I think I've talked about this before, but I'll recap on it really quickly here. Paint the base itself white. The snow flock is thin, and it won't look like it's on anything. It'll look like it's on a black base if you don't do that. So you either have to then put glue on top of that, and put more flock, if you want to even do it that way. Or you should, what I do is, I paint it white. I paint the base white completely first. Then before I put the snow flock on, I paint the rim because there's going to be no painting done on the snow flock. It's just going to be the snow flock and that's it. And I don't want to get blue on the snow. I mean, with like other things, if I get a little graveyard earth on the other ones, it's okay, in my opinion. But with the snow, I want the snow to look clean and not blue. So I do the white paint on the base, if you can just use baking soda or snow flock in general. And then I paint the blue rim, and then the snow goes on top. And for these guys, we're not doing that, obviously, because this has got flock on it. So, the next and last part of Let's Make a Model for the Pathfinder series will be these guys completed with their base. So when you see these guys next, they'll be done, and I'll do a little bit of a recap, and then that'll be it. So, until next time, take it easy, guys.